December 30th, Molly Smith. Found in her home. Her body was not simply killed, it was a canvas of pure, overwhelming destruction. The weapon: an ordinary woodman's axe. A common tool transformed into an instrument of personal, consuming hatred. The sheer amount of blood, the evidence of an extended, maniacal frenzy, told authorities this was not a man driven by necessity, but by a deep, dark, internal compulsion. As the bodies mounted, Eliza Shelley, Irene Cross, the killer's process became evident. This was a ritual of domination. He would enter in the deepest, most silent part of the night. The first action, the quieting. A sharp, calculated strike to the head with the axe's blunt side, designed to render the victim instantly unconscious, immobile, yet still breathing, stripping them of the ability to fight, to scream, or to even fully comprehend. Then, the transport. The last moment of awareness was the sensation of their own inert body being hauled through the darkness. Dragged from the presumed safety of the bed, out into the yard, into the cold, silent world where the killer had all the time he desired, and the signature that spoke of a true predator, the mutilation. 6 women bore the unspeakable mark: a sharp implement, a hatpin, a small blade, forced with specific malice deep into the ear, a gesture of final, intimate, sickening violation. He was leaving his psychological fingerprint inside the most fragile chamber of the human skull. Austin did not sleep. The fear was a contagion. Every citizen became a suspect, and every creaking floorboard was the return of the axe. They nailed their windows, but what good is wood against a monster fueled by malice? Vigilance committees were formed. Men patrolled the streets armed, their eyes burning with exhaustion and terror. Yet the killer struck right through them. He was a phantom with a schedule. The sheer overkill, the systematic destruction of the victim's body, like with Gracie Vance, whose head was described as being reduced to a gelatinous pulp, suggested a maniacal, uncontrollable rage. The police, overwhelmed, arrested over 400 people on flimsy pretenses. The result? Mass chaos, but no capture. The killer was teaching the city a lesson in their own helplessness. He was a terrorist of the mundane. As the year turned, the monster escalated. Having fed on the fear of the working quarters, he decided to demonstrate his absolute, universal dominion. He broke the racial and social barrier. Christmas Eve, 1885. This was his grand finale. The night he struck twice, hours apart. Susan Hancock, attacked in her own bed, lying only inches from her terrified 16-year-old daughter. The child woke to the sight and sound of her mother being assaulted, then dragged away. The final, muffled sounds of life fading into the distance. Hours later, Eula Phillips was murdered. The killer was daring the entire armed city. He had not only broken their sense of safety, but had desecrated their holy night. The city's spirit was broken. They faced the terrifying truth. The phantom was unopposed. Then, the ultimate shock. The attack stopped. The killer did not die. He was not cornered. He simply chose to leave. He walked away from the chaos he created, leaving behind 8 bodies and a city paralyzed by an enduring, crippling doubt. The dark truth is the unsolved case, the unseen exit, and this is the fear that haunts history. The unsettling theory that the midnight assassin merely relocated. 3 years later, in the fog of London, Jack the Ripper emerged. The same ritualistic mutilation, the same focus on vulnerable women, the same impossible vanishing act. The servant girl Annihilator was not a local tragedy. He was an itinerant predator, carrying his pathology across the globe. He was never caught because he had no home to return to. He only had the road. He remains, forever, the phantom of the American frontier, the perfect embodiment of the moment you wake up, realize you are not alone, and know there is nothing you can do. Unsolved.